Alright guys, now we're just moving on to step 2, and what we've done so far, just to recap, is we've given you the directory to find a list of software companies and the specific niche that we want you to look in. You've obtained the list, and now we're just going to work that list, and we're going to kind of show you how to now move on to step 2, which is to identify the target contacts in each software company's leadership team. So I'm just going to go to this Cerner practice, and we're going to use that as an example here. Again, we're using G2 Crowd Directory, and usually what we're looking for when we click on this company is their URL for their website, and that's listed under the Profile tab. So I'll click Profile, and then you can see that their website is right here. Sometimes you'll notice that the software company that you're looking at has many products, and some of the specific products are listed under a unique URL. Like for instance, Cerner is the main company here, and that's their main URL. But let's say Cerner was just a product, and let's say the name was, let's say Microsoft was in charge of Cerner, and it was one of their many products. Then you would come under here under it would say Microsoft under the vendor, and then it would have Microsoft.com under the vendor, and that's the one you want to go to in that case. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and click on this, which will open us up in a new tab here. Now, once we're here, we're looking for their C-level executives of this company. We're trying to get 4 contacts per company that we're researching. So whether that's the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer, the Chief Financial Officer, the Chief Information Officer. We're trying to look for the top guys in the organization in each company. And the best place to start is usually the About Us page if they have one. So I'm just going to click on the menu up here. And let's see. Okay, see they have a About Us page down here. When we click on that, it's going to just tell us a little bit about their company here. And this is exactly what we're looking for right here. If it has information about their leadership or their team or their executives or whatever it is that they call it on their specific website, that's what we want to find. We want to find who are the top dogs running this company. So we're going to click on leadership. Okay, see this is perfect. So it gives us some good people. Just as a side note, we don't want board members. We want people who are actually working within the company and people who are not on the board. So if you see people who are like chairman of the board or vice chairman of the board, what we want really is and sometimes if they're a board member and they're a CEO, that's fine. We can use them. But who we really want to talk to is starting here the president. If we come over here, Chief Strategy Officer, that's perfect because we're looking for to make partnerships with these type of companies. Population Health, not as relevant to us. The Chief Financial Officer is a great person for us to talk to. The Chief Operating Officer is a great person to talk to because we want to partner with them. Client Relations, not as much. Or Chief of Staff, not as much. This is perfect. President of Health Ventures, because see, I'm sure he talks about. Okay, see, Donald drives key growth strategies through partnerships with leading health systems. That's exactly who we're looking for. So now what we're going to do, now that we've kind of found the people we're looking for, we're just going to enter them into our spreadsheet here. So I'm just going to start here. And usually get their legal name if you can. And the way we do that is usually coming down. I'm just going to copy Cerner Corporation. Put that right there. Now what we're going to look for is their URL. Put that right there. And then I'm working off a current list here, but you can see this tab or this row is industry. So we want to know what industry they're in. So I can do that by going back to the home page. Let's see, creating healthier stories, improving the health and care of individuals and their communities. Okay, so sometimes the software is like niche specific, so it's like specific to just chiropractor offices or dental offices or something like that. But these guys look like they're a little bit more broad, so I would use the term healthcare. I'm just going to put that there. And now we're looking for 4 contact names, and it's broken out into the first name and then the last name right here. So I'm going to go back to their leadership area. So let's look at it. I'm going to copy Zane Burke's information. He's the president, so I'm just going to put that into the title. And now I'm going to find my next person. This is Joanne Burns, Chief Strategy Officer. She's a great person for us to talk to. I'm going to skip over John, the Chief Financial Officer, Mark. I mean, he's a great person for us to talk to. You can either, if you want to abbreviate the title, like if it's a common title, like CFO, Chief Financial Officer, I'm okay. I mean, you can see up here, Chief Operating Officer, we abbreviated. Chief Executive Officer, we abbreviated. So if it's something common, I'm fine if you do that. And then let's get our last person here. And I want to find the guy who's in charge of partnerships, because that's why we're doing this in the first place. This is our guy here, Donald Trigg. Okay, so that's perfect there. So, so we got all of our contacts, but let's assume that when we went to the site and we came under the About Us section, and let's say we were looking, but it didn't ever mention any team members, any executives or board directors or anything like that. So if that's the case, then we would move on to our second step. Where I like to go after looking at their site is the Better Business Bureau. And what we would do, sometimes they have the owners or officers listed on there. So again, I'm just going to copy their legal name, not their DBA, but their legal name, and put it right here. And search. And if you want to put where they're related, or I'm sorry, where they're located, then you can do that. But I'm just going to do a general search here, and it looks like okay. So this is definitely them. And if you want to verify the address, you could just go to the Contact Us section and their website and verify it too. So now you'll notice on the left-hand side of the screen here, it'll give us some options here. And okay, so you see the business management section. So we see who their CEO is. We got an idea of who the enterprise security person is, Michael Godfrey. and then their client experience management person is Alicia Waters. So that's a good place to go if we weren't able to get it right from their site. That gives us some people to go off of. Sometimes, though, the BBB doesn't have everything listed as well. So as another measure, and probably the best one, is really LinkedIn. And again, I gave you my LinkedIn Premium account access, so you can log in there and run advanced searches and things like that. So now what I'm going to do is, just in the top-hand corner there, so I can see, I'm going to look at their business page, and we can see them right here, Cerner Corporation. And now once we're on the page here, we can see, we can verify that it's the correct address, the right URL, and this is the important section right here. I mean, these guys are a big company. They got over 20,000 employees listed on LinkedIn. Usually, most of the companies we're going after, they'll show anywhere from 20 to 100 contacts, but these guys are just a monster company. But what we would do is hit View All, and then you would just look for our top ranking people, and you can. I just want to. These guys look like they're a worldwide company, but I'm just looking for people in the United States. So I'm just going to start coming over here and just adding specific criteria to our search. So it looks like we can look at some things here as far as their seniority level, or you can come in here if I want to see who the now I could come up here. It doesn't have anyone listed as the Chief Financial Officer right here, but you could enter in the information here, or you can just come down here to where it already has the seniority level type of people. So at the top level, here's the Chief Information Officer at the company, Bill Graff. And here's Joanne Burns, who we already listed. So we can just start going down this list and collecting the names that way. So if that fails, we have one last suggestion for you, and that's to go to data.com, and you can just sign up for this for free. It doesn't cost you anything. We're just trying to find names again at this point. So I'm going to run the same thing, and it looks like they're listed here. So I would just click on it again. These guys are a big company, and data.com has over 3,800 people listed. So I would click on that, and then over here on the right-hand side, I can see it broken down by level here. So C-level executives, there's 31 of them. So I could click on that and kind of run through this list and see if any of these people resonate with what we saw on the site and on LinkedIn and any of that type of stuff. You got to be a little bit careful with data.com, because people like us, just everyday people, upload information, and then email. So the way it kind of works is you upload an email address, and in exchange you get an email address back for free. As long as you're always adding contacts to this database, you're always getting contacts for free. But the problem is that you can see this company's huge, and they've been around for a long time. And the problem is nobody goes through and scrubs when people retire, or when people are fired, or they leave the job and go to a different company. So you'll see a little bit of outdated business or contact information on data.com, but it can also be a really, really good source. So you just got to take your best guess, and I always use it as a last resource. So again, I would always start with the website. I would actually go LinkedIn first. If you don't get anything from there, go Better Business Bureau, and then go to data.com, and then enter it into here. Once we get here, I know this is a little thing, but we're just going to clean this up a little bit. So our font's going to be Arial. Our type is going to be 10. Make sure it's not bolded. Black on the color, and then just a white background. And then we're good. And then what you can do in addition, add that there. And you're now ready to add email addresses, and we're going to go over that in the next video.